I've built a droid that can drive sideways, tilt its head and look you in the eye, all on ROS2. Let me introduce you to BpBO. I've been inspired here by my success with Rex B1, my other droid project, and the work I did on the Mecanum wheel drive. You might remember that from an earlier video. Thinking about examples of Mecanum drive droids, particularly in sci-fi, I got drawn to B2EMO from the Andor TV series. You remember that? This is a very much inspired rather than screen-ready replica. After all, B2EMO is really a remote-controlled puppet, and I wanted a bit more autonomous capability here. So, different things. The central control system for BpBO is the robot operating system, and that really sits on a Raspberry Pi 5 for me. Not actually a 4 as in this photo, but a 5, and then that's talking out to a number of microcontroller based control boards. They're all based on RP2040s or RP2350s, and they control all of the subsystems like the motors, the head motion, the servos, the lights, well, everything. And we'll talk about those as we go on. And the interface between those two is something called microROS. And I've looked at microROS in a set of videos before, so I won't talk too much about it. But it really just allows us to take this whole topic publication strategy of distributing messages around the world into the world of microcontrollers from the world of ROS, and gives me access to that reliable communication. Now, in actual fact, on this robot, one board was not enough and one Raspberry Pi was not enough. So I've actually got two. And the reason for that, you'll see as we go along, is basically the head rotates, and running data signals up to the head through a slip ring proved challenging and problematic, which I kind of expected. So these two boards, Raspberry Pis, actually talk by Wi-Fi, and they share the ROS messages across via Wi-Fi. That other Raspberry Pi 5 also allows me to do some other tricks, and I'll talk about those when we get to talking about the eyes within BpBO. Of course, for this demo and this video, I'm actually controlling all of this just using a DualShock 4 from Sony, and it's talking via Bluetooth into one of the Raspberry Pi 5s. That isn't the long-term plan, but that at least allows me to explore the capability of the Droid before I start automating stuff. So let's talk about the drive system. It's important we can actually move BpBO around, and we can. He's based on this chassis that I had already had and had looked at with these Mecanum wheels, and it's driven by 4 JGB37520 motors, and that's what we're going to use as the main powerhouse for driving him around. And he certainly can drive then in any direction. But you know that because I've looked at this chassis before, and in fact I built this quad motor controller to do just that, and we explored that in a previous video. And this uses two 808236 dual motor controllers, and the reason it uses that is so that I can nicely integrate that onto a single circuit board and use basically daughter boards on that to control it, and that works really well, and I explain a lot of that in this other video. The way of controlling it and being able to move in any direction, well, any direction on the ground, that is, I explain in this other video where we show how we can take twist messages, saying move linearly on the X or the Y axis and angularly on Z, so rotate, and how there's a whole bit of maths that we can do in order to actually control it and actually give us the ability to move these devices around and give us, you know, life for our droid. Before we dive deeply into the robot build, a quick thank you to today's sponsor, WolfSSL. If you're working on robotics, whether it's a small microcontroller project or a full ROS-based system, security isn't optional anymore. Robots send commands, telemetry, logs, even firmware updates across networks, and that data needs to be protected. That's where WolfSSL comes in. WolfSSL provides a lightweight, high-performance TLS and crypto library designed specifically for embedded systems. It runs beautifully on microcontrollers, small single-board computers like my Raspberry Pis, or anything you typically use in a robot. With WolfSSL, you can encrypt control messages, secure your Wi-Fi or cloud connections, and protect sensitive files or configuration data without slowing your system down. So if you want robots to be secure from the ground up, check out WolfSSL using the link below. Thanks again to WolfSSL for supporting the project. Now let's get back to the build. But it's not just about moving around. We also have a head on this droid, and that head is actually controlled with the ability to rotate it and to raise it and tilt it, which is really quite neat and quite nice. And that's all driven by a Stewart platform, or a simplified Stewart platform, because I'm using 3 servos to actually give me the ability to raise and tilt that head. And they're bus servos from Wonder, they're LX224HVs, and they work really well. And I've looked at these before because we did look at a video about the Stewart platform and how that works. And the control I'm using for this is actually one that I built for XP1 and didn't really use significantly. I used it a bit, but not significantly, because I moved away from using these sorts of bus servos in the first version of XP1. Now the whole Stewart platform and the head of course rotate, which means I couldn't actually run all the control systems from the main board and the main chassis. So they're all actually sitting inside the head. And there's another Raspberry Pi 4 sitting in there, which actually provides then comms to the main Raspberry Pi 5. It's also going to run a camera, and I'll tell you about that in a minute. But it's really, for this bit of the story, about providing connectivity to my servo control board, and it's that servo control board that then lifts the head and allows us to do all those motions. Now this servo control board is the same servo control board that's sitting inside XP1. It's actually rotating the dome in there, and I've done another video talking about how that board actually controls bus servos directly and how all of that works without needing to use any of the intervening driver boards. So if you want to know about those, go check out those videos. The head rotation for BpBO is actually based on a stepper motor, and it's on a completely separate control board, because this control board's actually down on chassis level and actually controls the whole thing from there. And it's basically using a NEMA 17 stepper motor and a DRV8825 stepper motor controller. And that stepper motor controller happens to be sitting on an identical board to the one that's actually controlling the bus servos, because actually I put both of those capabilities on the board. But yeah, they are 2 separate boards and in 2 separate places on the board. I use the same board and the same DRV8825 to control the dome in XP1, and I've previously talked a bit about that story. Also in the head we have 2 eyes. They're different sizes, much like B2EMO from Andor, and they are basically just LED, WS2812B LED rings. And we've looked at those before on the channel. In fact, I did a whole video where I showed how you can actually animate different patterns on these sorts of rings. And I've done some other clever stuff on that. I actually have a course that goes through how to drive these in some detail over on the Udemy platform that you might be interested. It's called the Micro Projects course for the Pico. And that's a good place to leap off from into this journey if you want to play these sorts of games. Now for BpBO, this is based on the same controller board that I'm using in the head to control those bus servos for lifting and tilting the head. And they're of course connected to a Raspberry Pi 4, which I'm using for comms, to connect it to ROS. Now that allows me to also place a camera in the head. And so I've got a Raspberry Pi camera up there, and that Raspberry Pi camera is actually sitting in the middle of one of those LED rings, and you can just see it, the little cutout I've put into the front lens disc, so that we can actually take forward pictures. So that's quite useful, and I may do more stuff with that as time goes on. I may actually even look at replacing it with one of the AI cameras from Raspberry Pi. What do you think? Do you think that's a good idea? What do you think of those AI cameras? Let me know in the comments. Power. With a Raspberry Pi 5, a Raspberry Pi 4, the servos, the stepper motor, the motors to drive him around, and a bunch of LEDs, he's going to be consuming quite a lot of power. And therefore, to handle all that, I'm going to need some fairly chunky batteries. And I'm going to once again use these LifePO4's 6 amp hour batteries that I used on RexB1. Now that's a really good strategy for me, because it means that I can actually use the same control structure for power management that I'm going to use on RexB1. So I'm actually using the same relay board that actually controls the power, so I can choose whether I get power from each of the batteries to either the electronics or the motors. I can actually choose to also take power from USB. I can monitor the battery's state, I can monitor the voltage coming from those batteries and the amps being released and used from those batteries all the time. And I can even have a separate charging board, which actually allows me to charge the batteries in situ. Plus the ability to actually use USB-C PD to actually power the unit. And that I've talked about at some length in a video on the RexB1 Droid's LifePO4 journey. The one bit I haven't talked about, which is the board that's just on the top here, is actually the charging board. And I do need to do a video about that, and that's coming soon. There's just a few bits more work I want to do on understanding how all of that works before I start explaining to you. But it's already actually sitting on BpBO and actually providing me USB power to actually run the whole unit on my desk, or indeed put those batteries onto charge. So a demo. Me, BpBO. My new Droid, at least partial project. We can rotate its head, we can lift its head, and we are able to tilt its head either to the side or front, forward and backwards, as well as, of course, drive him around. So he is already a completely mobile, capable little droid. Now everything at the moment is being driven by me remote controlling him. There's not a lot of automation on there yet, but that's all stuff that I want to get into. First of all, let's make sure we understand the capability of how he can move, the limitations, and then I need to add a little bit of body work as well, I think, because we've got rather a lot of boards exposed, but he's certainly on his journey. BpBO has come to life quite quickly, and that's because there's a lot of carryover from RexB1 design. Though they look nothing like each other, a lot of the subsystems are based on the same code or very similar code bases and the same PCB designs. Yes, there's a lot more to do, including a full body case. Right now I'm checking his capabilities out and starting to refine the control systems. So make sure to subscribe so that you can keep up with the journey. And why not check out RexB1 Project 2, my other droid. Links right here. See you on the next build.